for having me today at the 8th International Conference on Computer Science and Engineering. So today, my research topic, it's focused on database security in a dynamic IT world, precisely. So basically, I will be talking about examining database security fundamentals that help to make sure high level of flexibility in data use and effectiveness in data protection. So my name is Temitope-Awodiji. I prefer to be called Temi. I'm a graduate of California Miramar University. I study computer information science. And currently I work as a data scientist in a financial organization, precisely. So far, so good. So to start with, I would like to explain what it means, what a database means precisely. So a database is an organized collection of structured information or data typically stored electronically in a computer system. So in a small organization, we can say a database as an Excel sheet where we have the customer's name, where we have an employee's name, precisely, and in a very large organization, we can see a database as a database like it's pretty much, it's more like a cloud. We can see it as something that is pretty close to a cloud, but is more secure than the likes of Excel. So basically, we can also see a database is usually something that controlled by a database management system. So it comes with we can say it comes together with the data set, because sometimes, most of the time, like a database without a data, it's pretty empty, like without a data. That is what really makes it a database, like a data that is stored in a database, precisely. So I would also like to explain what it means before I go into details. I would also like to explain what a database security means. So a database security can as well mean can be defined as a joint measure adapted to protecting and secure an information or a database management software system from unlawful use and malicious threat and attack. So this basically explaining, like, in this world that we are today, there are a whole lot that is going on, that we have people that we call hackers that could hack into people system, into their database, like when it's not, when it is not fully secure. Like a good example is, like, if an hacker has an access to a social security number, for example, that is a very good example. Like a whole lot could go wrong with that alone. An hacker could have access to a particular person's credit card. Basically, that is one of a good example that I can think of right now. So I would also like to explain information security. Information security solution it protects enterprise and government information. This is simply like a guide that aids to discuss the need for compliance with government and business needs in physical and visual systems. In my years of experience as a data analyst, it has taught me a whole lot while analyzing data precisely and maintain data. I always ensure compliance with corporate standard, which is a whole lot very important. Everyone manage data, anybody in a particular company manage data set indirectly or directly. Like, and anyone could, like, if you log on to your system and you're standing up, anyone could, could have access to it and try to tampering into an organization data or their database. So that could could make the organization to lose money, to lose their integrity. Also, I'll be talking about fundamental data security requirements. This has to do with confidentiality, integrity, availability. And I will explain this by saying, I would say when it comes to confidentiality, like in a financial organization, every customer have trust, like before they can come in, like, okay, I want to open an account with your organization as a financial institution. I am trusting you with all my information, which simply means confidentiality. It's more like a secure system that ensures the confidentiality of data. It means that it allows individuals to see only the data which they are supposed to see. Also, I will talk about integrity. A secure system ensures that the data it contains is valid. Data integrity means that data is protected from deletion and corruption, basically both while it's reside within the database and while it is being transmitted over the network. Lastly, availability. A secure system makes data available to authorized users without delay. Denial of service attack are usually attempt to block authorized users. Ability to access and use the system when needed. So this pretty much like this is why change of password, like frequent change of password, can also be encouraged when it comes to this. So are we be going to the next slide? So I'll be talking about 7 information security best practices. So 7 information security best practices, a good practice that has to do with information security, has to do with it ensure physical database security. It use web application and database firewall. It's adding your database to the fullest extent possible. It encrypts your data. It minimizes value of database. It helps you to manage database access tightly. It helps you to audit and monitor database activities. And I would like to go into detail by explaining each one of it. So talking about ensure physical database security. Database contain knowledge, and knowledge is corresponding to what we can call mastercard data, which is usually effective to criminals. So this means information is a sexy target for hackers, and this is why database security is a whole lot vital in today's world. So when I talk about ensure physical database security, it helps us to guarantee physical information security within the ancient sense, which simply means it helps us to keep our information server in a very secure surrounding with an access control, and probably far away from the unauthorized individual. So we can say this could also mean that it could help us to keep the database on a separate physical machine. far from the machine running application or the net servers precisely. Also, the use net application and information firewall. So every database server ought to be protected against information security threat by a firewall. There's something, this software that I know about, they call it Cyber Room. It's help an organization to secure their data. Like it doesn't, which is also another thing is some organization, they try to use VPN so that anyone can not just, see everything they are doing within the organization. So basically, the uses of net application and information firewall, it helps to protect information with a firewall. It also deploy an online application firewall. That is because of attacks corresponding to SQL injection, the attack directed at an online application which could delete data from the database. So basically, an information firewall will not automatically stop this from happening if the SQL injection attacks comes from an associated application that allows supply of traffic. But an online application firewall might really help. So I will now go to adding your database to fullest extent potential clearly. So this has to do with it seems to be it is very vital to confirm that the information of your database has an updated version of your computer with all the information security patches which is put in. I can use Apple as a very good example. You see, every time Apple send more like a pop-up message to us to update our iOS. This is pretty a good example to always make sure at every point in time, whenever we get a pop-up to update a version of the software we are using. This is very vital. Also, talking about minimized value of databases. This has to do with minimized value of database. It is also vital to uninstall or disable any option or services that you just do not ought to use. And it is also good to make sure that we alter the password of any default account from their default values, or probably an higher still, probably delete any default account that we just think we do not need. The next one is encrypting our data. It is more like a standard operating procedure in most organizations to encrypt stored data. However, it is important to ensure that backup data is additionally encrypted and stored separately from the decryption keys. It is also vital to ensure confidential data is encrypted in motion over the company's network to protect against database security threat. Manage database access tightly. We should aim for the least number of individuals attainable to possess access to the database, administrators, or to have only the bare minimum privileges. So this is pretty much a very a good thing that a database administrator could that is a job of a database administrator. In most organizations, some people are denied an access is not because they need it or they do not need it, but because they are trying to ensure a whole lot of compliance and also protect the data of the organization, trying to secure it basically. So which is the reason why some people get access and the other person does not get the access. They probably give access to give the access the organization think you need for your job. So and lastly, the audit and monitor database activity. We can also do this by monitoring logins to the operating systems and database and reviewing log frequently to find abnormal activity. Effective monitoring ought to permit individuals to identify once an account has been compromised. Once an employee is carrying out suspicious activity or once your database is under attack, this ought to probably additionally assist you to verify if users are sharing accounts and provide you with a warning if accounts are created without your permission. A very good monitoring software that could help is what we call DAM. They call it Database Activity Monitoring Tools. Is a software that can help to provide, that could help an organization to monitor their database, database login and audit function. It can also help to monitor administrator activity. So my conclusion, data security is pretty a broad topic and covers many imperfections. Various malicious people often cause data security issue to get information and to cause harm to an organization. So ensuring data security database is achieved by following two rules. Following the security requirements of your organization, implying vulnerability management and review, then managing access.